Hey everybody. All right, I pulled the cards. I started the reading and then I got interrupted, but I don't want to change the cards. So I'm going to start with what was under the deck because I couldn't believe that this card came out again. This is the third reading in a row that we get the break loose card. So this is Mary riding bareback with no reins on the horse, and it says free rein, R-E-I-N, break loose on it. And it's interesting with the other cards here. Let's just see what's underneath them. Okay, holding the seeds, fertility, and she's like holding a pomegranate in her hands. Yeah, hope and illumination, hold the light. And then replenish and recharge, and she's like by the water. Interesting, and she's alone in all of these cards. So it's almost like there's a situation, like maybe there is a relationship or a romantic situation, and like she's holding the seeds of potential for growth because it says fertility on it, and she's holding a pomegranate which has a lot of seeds inside, and that's interesting. I'm like getting the image of like you hold a lot of eggs in your womb, right? And you drop like one egg a month to be fertilized, but I was seeing like a swarming of sperm. I don't know why I'm saying this, but it's like there's more potential than you realize for growth here. Don't tell me, I don't know why I'm getting that image, but it's almost like if there's so many seeds or like eggs, and then I'm getting this like swarm of sperm coming, like there's like something big that can be born, perhaps from a relationship, or maybe it's something that you're doing in your life right now that has a lot of potential for growth. Like, in other words, I'm seeing in my mind lots of potential for like lots of babies, but I'm not taking that literally. It feels like a lot of creative potential or a lot of like energetic potential here. But it's like you have to hold the light right now, the hope, the illumination for the vision that it is that you want. So maybe this is like the type of partnership that you want. Maybe it's also like the lifestyle that you're moving towards that could also include this type of relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship now that you want to improve. Like I have people that are working with me currently that are in relationship, but they're like trying to deepen their relationship and get like deepen their union and get past certain old limiting beliefs, fears, insecurities, and things like that. So of course, what's covering those two cards is this break loose. Let's just clarify breaking loose. Let's just see if we can get one card to clarify that, because I feel like since it's Mary on the card, I feel like maybe you're the one right now that's like I said, getting free from certain limitations that would block the potential for this growth. I don't know. Let's see what we get, and then I'll share the other cards with you. Why is break loose coming again? What does this have to do with specifically? What do we need to know about this? Oop, that's the one. Okay, it says the tree of life. I think it says peace. Hold on. Yeah, the tree of life, peace. It's like what it is that you're meant to birth in this next like phase of your life, and it could be like a long chapter that's coming, not like a quick thing, but like something almost like legacy building, like something that you're creating for the long term. It is not meant to be created in the energy of chaos and dysfunction, okay? So it could be that you're freeing yourself from the even belief that you would have to settle for something dysfunctional in order to have a relationship. Like you don't, and nobody's perfect. Like everybody's coming flawed, okay? There is no such thing. I've been thinking a lot about like Ozzy Osbourne because he just passed, and I've been following him and his wife Sharon for like 25 years, like ever since they had their reality show. And they had a very codependent relationship. He was an addict his entire life. They also adored each other. I'm not advocating for codependency, and I'm not advocating to be with an addict. I'm just saying, like, I feel their love story sort of transcended certain cultural and societal norms of like what should be tolerated. And I'm not saying that I would want to be in that situation. I'm just saying their relationship was really unique because you could tell that like they're just such deep soulmates, but there was a lot of dysfunctional stuff that was going on at the same time as this like deep, profound love for each other. And they did work out some of those issues, you know, and some of them were hard, and they were like lifetime patterns that just stayed in the relationship. So it's like, I'm just saying, nothing is perfect. You can label something toxic and it might might be for one person, and for another person that's exactly what their soul needs to experience, like them. Do you know what I mean? They didn't have a picture perfect relationship, but I still feel that they radiated and emanated so much like reverence and love for each other, but it was very flawed. I don't know, I'm using that as an example because I feel like you are meant for peace. But peace doesn't mean perfection necessarily. And again, I'm using kind of an extreme example because I'm not saying I would want to be in that situation like them. I'm just saying I think people get too caught up in this like idea that a conscious partnership is perfect. I mean, my experiences have also been very like taboo, I would say, like not necessarily what mainstream would deem, ooh yeah, that looks really good. People might be like, I don't know. But I know for me, like my relationship work has been perfect for what I needed to evolve, and I've experienced a ton of transformation. I also know a lot of couples that do this work and their relationships are in varying degrees of like, they're not all perfect looking, but I think we think that it's supposed to look a certain way, like it's supposed to be very like Disney or very love and light only. And for some people, I think that's their template. And for other people, I think you have different challenges to work through. And addiction might be a template you have to work through. Like it's been something for me that's definitely been on the radar. But I'm sober now, so it's interesting, you know what I mean? Like there's just something there about you are meant for peace and you're meant to break loose from certain dysfunction. But like I said, don't think that that you need to arrive perfectly healed. I don't think that that's true. But there might be some nuance here that I can't get across in just this reading. And again, each person's story is unique, so that's why I offer one-to-one sessions for this. All right, so in addition to those, I'm getting, this card kind of reminds me of Cleopatra, Queen of the Sun. Nothing is lost that can't be found. It's very Egyptian, like with the moon behind her. Nothing is lost that can't be found, Queen of the Sun. Let me show you the other cards. Dead Center, we're getting Desert Rose, True Love Cannot Hide, and the Cosmic Magdalene, Remember Who You Are. Look at the gaze on this card. True love cannot hide, in addition to nothing is lost that can't be found. I have a strong, and look at her posture here, hiding sort of behind Yeshua's shoulder, staring directly at you. Again, that very like penetrative gaze. You can't hide this love. If you're in a situation where you've had to be very secretive or you've been in that kind of template of forbidden love, number one, you're meant to transcend that. For most of you, like you're not meant to stay in the shadows, okay? You're not meant to be like in a third party, or you're not meant to need to make this like a covert affair. This love is meant to be celebrated openly. But that may be part of the pattern that you need to transcend. And that doesn't mean changing people. It doesn't mean like, oh, forget that person, I need somebody different. It could be something within you that you need to transform so that a connection can come out into the open in a way that's healthy for all parties. That doesn't mean you won't have to go through some chaos before you find peace. And then lastly, we're getting Simple Gifts Appreciation, and she's just hanging these herbs. And it feels very much like ritual, like small tokens of gratitude, of like keeping your mind in a state of abundance instead of scarcity, because we only settle for, again, that kind of dysfunctional relationship stuff when we feel scarce, when we feel like we can't have what we actually want. Trust me, if you want what you actually want, it's because it's possible, but that doesn't mean it's possible without you doing the work to create it. So I'm just going to clarify the appreciation card, Simple Gifts. Silence. Interesting. And she's sitting in a cave. Silence. It could be that right now, part of your work is to be quiet. I feel like a lot of you are in a place where you almost need to just hold your power. Like you can feel the potential of what you're meant to create. You can feel the possibility in love. But it may not, like all the pieces haven't fallen into place yet. And so your work right now is to quietly stay in a state of, again, gratitude, of appreciation, to not get stuck in, again, these thoughts that what you want is lost and you can never find it again. If you have felt like you lost a connection or you've lost touch with somebody, if this person is meant to be in your life, and I'm not saying to be delusional and be chasing a person that doesn't like you and doesn't want you. I'm talking about mutual reciprocity, a mutual desire to reconnect or even to reconcile, if that's the case for some of you. Like if you feel like you lost something, or like you broke up with someone and you feel like, oh my God, that was my only chance at love. Stop. If you're finding these videos and you're on this path, it's because there's so much more possible for you than you realize. And I understand that when you're in that in between, it's hard to keep the faith because you don't have proof. But like if you're here, this is your proof. You're on the right track. You're on the right track, but you're not meant to hide this love. It's not meant to be a secret little side fling. You're not meant to be somebody's side piece. You're not meant to have to do this in secrecy. No. This is meant to be seen, experienced publicly, so that other people can also see it. I'm not saying you have to pimp it out on your business or in your social media. I'm saying you're not supposed to hide it. It's not something that can be hidden. It's too powerful. And speaking from personal experience, this type of connection is going to probably blow up your whole life. It's for the best. It's not easy. A lot of things are probably going to have to come undone for this connection, for this type of connection to come together. You're going to have to let go of a lot of things, including relationships, marriages, home situations, maybe even jobs, security, maybe financial stability on some level. Like a lot of things are going to need to dissolve. So that's something new. And I'm telling you guys, whatever it is, it's giving me major potential with this seeds card. Think about it. Have you ever eaten a pomegranate? Think about how many seeds are inside of a pomegranate. Hundreds. That's the type of energetic that you're working with here when it comes to this type of love. Unconditional love, devotional partnership, like true conscious relationship of two people, sacred partnership that not only want to be together in love, but want to do the spiritual work too. And that will look different person to person, couple to couple. But a lot of you need to start doing the spiritual work now alone. You need to do it by yourself. You need to start to shift your energy. Mary's in the cave alone in silence. I spent many years alone in hermit mode doing spiritual work to prepare so that emerging would be more possible, so that I could hold the energy without collapsing, without freaking out, without constantly sabotaging connection, without me thinking it needed to look a certain way for it to start to form and come together. Like I had to move through a lot of those limiting beliefs, but like if I didn't have that spiritual foundation, and the somatic stuff that I had done on my own to have a strong nervous system and a mind that's more open to more possibility, I don't know, things could go very different. You have cosmic connections. Like this is not just of the earthly realm. I feel a lot of you are star seeds. You have connection beyond the earthly plane. You've probably incarnated beyond Earth, like into star systems that are beyond the 3D. So you have this like inner knowing that goes beyond what we know here on this planet. Like, in other words, like you're operating at probably a much higher frequency, and these are technologies that are very advanced. Like think about ancient Egypt. Think about like how are the pyramids built? Just ponder that for a minute. And then think about your own potential if you have connections to that type of frequency, okay? Again, if you resonate with the book, The Magdalen Manuscript by Tom Kenyon, The Alchemies of Horus and the Sex Magic of Isis, he wrote that book with his partner, Judy. They are in sacred partnership together. It's the most resonant book I've ever found on this path. Like, it's kind of like my Bible of relationship stuff. So I'm going to leave the reading at that today. But again, he works with starseed energy. Like he says Mary Magdalen is Arcturian. And he wrote a whole book about it, and he's got like all kinds of cool channelings and also writings and things. And he was a scientist first. And he also studies the same lineage of Buddhism as I do. So that's interesting. And if you guys are on this path, then you're in the right place. But like I said, I can help you, especially if you're alone right now and you're sort of like, I don't know what to do. or you're struggling with the faith. Now, if you're in relationship, that's even better, because if you're in relationship, I can help you start to tweak the dynamics, especially if you struggle a lot with the control and letting go and surrendering and vulnerability and deeper levels of intimacy. It's very hard to do if you're still trying to protect yourself and you have your guard up. You're going to be fighting about a lot of stuff that's unnecessary. You're going to have a lot of unnecessary stress and chaos. Again, peace is at the core of your reading, the tree of life. But that's giving me also ancestral healing of dysfunctional patterning in your relationship world or in your family line that you're also healing by not repeating it. And so you're meant to be in a more conscious relationship, but then you have to do that work. And it may have to be done, some of it, before you're in a partnership. For a lot of you, that's true. But you're not committing to this path because you're like, well, there's no other person, so then I'll just wait for them to drop into my lap and then we'll live happily ever after. It doesn't work like that in most cases. You have to magnetize this in by your own spiritual growth. You have to raise your consciousness more. So that's where I can help you. So I have 45-minute sessions available now. Yay. Magdalen Oracle sessions. So I'll use this deck, and I might even use tarot and something else if I need to clarify, but those sessions are to give you personalized guidance for where you're at right now. So if you know this is your path and you're like kind of lost, or you're in you're in a point right now where you're like, I really need some support to break through, I'm here to support you with exactly that. I want to help you get the love that you're like, holy shit, I can't believe that this exists, because it is possible. But this is sacred intimacy as spiritual practice. So they go hand in hand. You can't ignore the spiritual part, the work part. All right, so the links for the Magdalen Oracle sessions are live now, and the link for that is below and also in the comments. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Sending you so much love.